first. With the federal election around the corner, it is more important than ever that the electorate has access to reliable sources of information. In the digital age, a significant and growing number of people rely on social media giants like Twitter and Facebook for their news. But what happens when these big tech players decide to suppress news stories that they don't like? What happens when these companies, staffed almost exclusively with leftist ideologues, decide to censor and even bury stories that they see as damaging to their side? Big tech's sinister influence on the 2020 US presidential election has been laid bare again, with the New York Times' belated acknowledgement last week that the bombshell Biden files stories were legitimate and accurate. The report was some 17 months late, mind you. Of course, anyone with a fully functioning brain knew the New York Post's exclusive reports about the contents of Hunter Biden's laptop were real when they were first published in the weeks leading up to the 2020 election. However, that did not stop social media giants, Twitter and Facebook, together with the bulk of the mainstream media, conspiring to suppress and discredit a series of highly damaging stories on the Biden family that threatened to derail Joe Biden's campaign. Within hours of the Post's first explosive story, both Twitter and Facebook blocked users from sharing it and deleted copies that were already posted. Indeed, the New York Post's own official Twitter account was locked, and tweets sharing the article were deleted. A number of conservative accounts, including the personal account of the White House press secretary that had posted a link to the New York Post front page story, had their accounts suspended or locked. Not only did Twitter disappear a legitimate news story by labelling it potentially harmful, but they then promoted as their top story a verifiable lie, claiming the Vice President Biden played no role in pressuring Ukraine officials into firing the prosecutor. Now, this is despite the fact that there is a 2018 video of Joe Biden confirming that he played a role. Now, we must note that Twitter did apologise after the election for their actions and for their false claims that the Post stories were hacked. But the damage was done. They had achieved their goal of protecting the Biden campaign, and millions of voters never heard the truth about the Biden files. The overwhelming majority of the media joined the suppression and misinformation campaign, either ignoring a hugely significant story about the Biden family's dodgy dealings, including 10% for the big guy, or worse, labelling the revelations as a hoax or Russian misinformation.
Biden's secret emails.
A really fishy story.
The Post claimed that the emails were found on a laptop computer that was brought to a repair shop in Delaware in the spring of 2019.
The FBI is now investigating whether those alleged Hunter Biden emails are actually connected to a larger foreign intelligence operation.
They may be related to a foreign intelligence operation.
Foreign intelligence operation.
Foreign intelligence.
Foreign intelligence.
Foreign intelligence operation.
For all we know, these emails are made up.
The information found on the laptop may be part of a Russian disinformation campaign.
Part of a Russian disinformation effort.
The misinformation and gaslighting you just heard occurred despite the Post uncovering extensive emails, photographs, even video of a drug-fueled sexual escapade involving Hunter Biden, and significantly, communication that showed Joe Biden's personal involvement in his son's business dealings, including meeting with a top Burisma executive. Now, Burisma, you may remember, is the Ukrainian gas company that paid Hunter Biden $83,000 per month in consultancy fees, despite the drug-addled misfit having zero industry expertise or experience. The media's role in bearing an important series of stories was a shameful new low, and demonstrates why an enormous number of Americans see the Fourth Estate as the enemy of the people, with polls revealing that only 1 in 10 Republican voters has any trust in the news media. One cannot downplay the complicity of compromised members of the intelligence community who aided and abetted this disinformation campaign. Without any evidence, 51 intelligence experts wrote a letter claiming the Post's yarn had all the classic earmarks of a Russian information operation. And of course, the media regurgitated that lie.
Described by many intelligence experts as having hallmarks, all the hallmarks of a Russian disinformation campaign.
This is a classic example of the right-wing media machine.
When you can't trust the fact checkers to check facts, when you can't trust the news media to report the news, when you can't trust the line between news, opinion and activism, then you have a genuine crisis of trust in the mainstream media. Last week, in a blistering piece, the New York Post editorial board wrote, the 51 former intelligence officials who cast doubt on the Post's Hunter Biden laptop stories in a public letter really were just desperate to get Joe Biden elected president. And more than a year later, even after their deep state sabotage has been shown again and again to be a lie, they refuse to own up to how they undermined an election. The officials, including CNN pundit and professional fabricator James Clapper, a man who was nearly charged for perjury for lying to Congress, signed a letter that the laptop has the classic earmarks of a Russian information operation. Other experts and commentators have also weighed in the past week. International security expert Professor Max Abrahams wrote, the Hunter Biden laptop story shows that the supposed experts of Russian disinformation quoted ad nauseum in the media don't have the foggiest idea what it even looks like. Writer Drew Holden noted, people will try to hand-wave Hunter Biden's laptop away as just a story about pictures. But remember, these emails implicate not just Hunter, but also President Biden in a bribery, illegal pay-to-play scheme involving a hostile foreign power. And the Post's John Levine, I think, summed it up best when he wrote, the conspiracy to suppress disinformation by mainstream media, big tech companies, and a Democratic Party is the single greatest act of disinformation ever perpetrated in the social media era. Yes, the suppression of the New York Post's Biden files story set a dangerous precedent that saw enormously powerful big tech companies staffed by leftist ideologues censoring stories that were damaging to the Democrats. The impact of the combined propaganda campaign undoubtedly influenced the election result, which was precisely the point.